Good day, everybody. This is Etienne Marcel Patoud, and welcome to another edition of the original Free Kick. On this edition of the show, we are going to be playing audio and video from Atlanta United defender Derrick Williams and manager Ronny Deila as the team prepares to host New York City FC on March 29th. As always, to follow everything that we do, head to the mothership, the sportsinquirer.net, premier site for news and notes in the world of sports. You can also head to our social media platforms on Twitter/X, Instagram, and Facebook. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our audio and video hosts such as YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, and more. Atlanta United returns to the pitch on March 29th as they host NYCFC in a matchup of two Eastern Conference foes. Now, before we get to our comments on the matchup and preview a little further, let's hear from defender Derrick Williams as the team prepares for the contest. Enjoy.
Um, and they're not the goals. They're not breaking us down. When we're in our shape, we're fine. We're solid. They're not getting chances. It's when we give that ball turnovers. The first goal against Miami, sloppy. The first goal for Cincinnati, throw in. We lose it within 30 yards of our goal. So it's just correcting those mistakes. I feel like when we're in our shape, we're pretty solid, and I think the stats say that we concede very few chances. I think as the game goes on, something we need to look into a lot more is just why are we conceding a few more chances. So that's something that we're conscious of, and we're trying to put that right.
New York City. What do you think about the offense? They have Alonso, Maxi Morales at top. Something that you guys looking into?
Yeah, good players. Every team in this league, their front three or four are always the best players in the team, so have to be switched on. I know the gaffer knows a lot about them, and we did some clips today, so it's a challenge, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm just looking forward to trying to keep this clean sheet and just making the Bends more of a fortress, and hopefully we can get some luck going our way and get that clean sheet.
Manager's spoken a lot about taking the good phases of play, whether it's 30, 45 minutes, and extending that to the whole game. Have you noticed in some of these second half adjustments that teams are making? Sometimes it appears, just from when I'm watching the games, like they're sending more pressure up, to try to press, perhaps you guys at the back. Have you noticed any of that? And is it a tactical issue, or is it kind of, Ronnie's talked a lot about the mindset of players and just kind of keeping your heads?
It's more mindset, because every first half we've had now, we've dominated the games, and it's obvious the team are going to change at half time. No manager, the way we're dominating games the first half, the managers are going to make changes, so we have to be aware of those changes and just adapt during the game. I think against Cincinnati we did well. Got the goal early in the second half, and then the game kind of flipped a bit. They got that lucky goal from the free kick, and then the momentum swung. But I think it's definitely a mindset, but it's just attacks and half quick, and the main thing for me is when we do have a bad spell, we have to make sure we don't just make sure that we reach what we're supposed to. So let's keep it up, and hard for me, maybe just spin them behind them, make them towards our goal a bit. Team that comes into Charlotte, they quite a bit when they're up against it, they kind of just spin the ball behind and say, right, go chase that for a bit. Teams are definitely going to make changes, especially how the good first halves we have.
Derrick, what have you made of Will Riley so far? I think he had 8 interceptions in the last match.
I was really pleased for him. I said to him after the game, I thought he was excellent to come in and did what the performance he did, but it's just a start now. He needs to do that every day in training, which he does work hard. He has a good level head, so hopefully it's just a start for him. But it's good competition. Is good for everyone, so that keeping Jay on his toes, just keeping Clicky, Bart, everyone on their toes. So happy for him, but now it's just a start. He needs to do it consistent.
When you lose momentum in a game like that, how do you go about getting back on track with that, and then also not letting it weigh you down for the rest of the match?
It's just it's coming together as a team and noticing, right, being a bit sloppy here. Let's make sure we stay tight. If we have to maybe drop in a low block and just soak up some pressure and like spin in behind, slow the game down, especially if we're playing from home and their fans are loud and it's kind of giving them momentum. Try to drown the noise out of the stadium. So slowing it down, walking the throw-ins. But then there's also another side of it is keeping the ball better. It's having that extra pass, so they're running extra. So there's so many different ways. It's just we need to do it in the game. We need to have a look around at each other and say, right, let's try this for a few minutes. Let's try this. And we did it at Cincy, but now we just need to continue doing it.
In terms of bringing the group together, you talked about kind of a lighter session today, but a lot of games, a lot of competition. How important is that stuff?
It's massive. Competition is why we play. It's why I play. You just live for that. Just that competitor is just you want to win every game. Sometimes you can do it as like a joking way, but deep down I want to win. So I think it's good for everyone, especially the small sided games. He brings in a lot because it gets heated. Because I always say, like, if you're not going to do it here in this soft play game, you're not going to do it in the match. So you need to train as you play. So they're intense, and that's something really Ronny brought in this season is having that competitive edge and wanted to win every game, not concede those goals. So they're fun, but they're not fun when you're losing, and they get heated.
You talked about keeping the ball as well. How important is it for the way that this team wants to get forward to build up cleanly out of the back?
Yeah, it's important. It's funny because there's so many different ways of doing it, but the way the manager wants, he wants the players to be disciplined. So that's staying in your position. So when someone turns with the ball, they already know where they are. So I think we're definitely getting that. You can ask most of us here now, when Clicky gets the ball, where everyone else, I know where everyone's going to be now. And I think everyone's getting on that wavelength, which is massive, because the best teams I've seen, everyone knows each other's jobs. So I think that's definitely getting in, coming to fruition, and just seeing more of it, because I know the more you do of it, the more reps, the better it looks. I think at the start of the season we understood it, but sometimes you think, oh, let me just go 4 or 5 yards here, but then you don't realize, right, my player doesn't know where I am now. So just small details, and we're just doing it rep by rep, and I think we're getting a lot better.
These Thursday competitive days that we've seen the past few weeks, is there a running total of which teams are winning? What do you get if you win?
There was a full-on leaderboard. Each player we haven't done like a forfeit yet, but I might bring that in. I think that's a good idea. Just loser has to, before loser had to wear like a yellow bib just to show that you're the loser. So no, I actually like that idea. I might say it.
And are the teams the same each week, or do they get changed up?
Change every week.
Okay.
So if you win a game, you get 3 points.
Okay.
So they tally up whoever has the most points.
So who's on top right now?
I'm not sure. I need to look.
It's not you then.
I'm up there. I'm definitely up there. But nah, it's good. I think it's always better when there's a leaderboard, because you do not want to be at that bottom. Because the pride comes into it, and the pride of being at the top and just getting the shit talk and all that kind of stuff. So
We can have a pro rel.
All right, and that was Derrick talking about the team. And yeah, when we go up to the practices on Thursday afternoons, really the practice before the official media practice that we can go to before the match. So if they have a match on Saturday, which is a big run of Saturday matches coming up, we get to go up there on Thursday, and they do play different games. I call it like field day type of things, with kicking the ball through cones, or having to hold hands and dribble the ball, and or touch it a certain amount of times to move to the next section. I've seen trash cans, we've seen cones, we've seen a lot of things involved in the games, but it does, I guess, get that competitive nature up, and it's a long season for the guys, and anything to lighten up the mood. But Atlanta is looking to once again just find a consistent match on this docket. We've seen them play good first halves and show resiliency in second halves, but ultimately just not get the victories outside of the opening match against Montreal, where I think you had to get Tristan with a strike late in the second half to get the win. But we've seen them take leads in contests or fall behind, have strong form. Even last week against Cincinnati, just continue to struggle back and forth affairs. Lancelot gets a goal. You think that, all right, Atlanta's rolling, but then they concede 2 goals, and it really took an own goal from a Saba strike to the Cincinnati defender to ultimately get the draw on the road. Though that inconsistency is just not good for a team that's looking to contend. And I know it's very, very early in the season still, even though I want to say Doug Roberson or somebody was saying they have played 5 matches, so they're 1/7 through the season. I think they have 6 matches technically now. But that's just it is an interesting way of looking at it because they're not the halfway mark, they're not even the 3/4 mark, but every match matters. And I always say, and other people have said, we're going to look back at those matches, dropping points, against Cincinnati. Again, not able to hold on to or conceding a late goal and end up losing at home to Miami. When you look at the end of the season and you look at the point standings, it's the difference between making the playoffs or not making the playoffs, or being a higher seed and hosting a match as opposed to not. All these matches matter. All these points at the end of the season do accumulate. We always look at the start of the season as being important. You want to start the season strong, you want to finish the season strong. But every one of these matches is crucial because they all count towards your points total. So New York City FC coming into town, a team that with Morales obviously up front, a big threat for Atlanta, and Williams being a defender, obviously touched a little bit on that, having form and being consistent on that end. Now let's hear from manager Ronny Deila as the team does prepare for New York, and he touches on just the injury slate. In fact, we'll do it live right now because it did come out since we produced this episode of the show, the availability of, and you also had all the international players there making rounding way into form, guys like Miguel Almiron and Pedro and others who are just really getting back in the town from their international duty. So we'll see if they are even available for this Saturday, depending on their travels. But already, we know Edwin Mascara, Tristan Muyamba, and Jamal Tiari are already out. Edwin with the ankle injury, Tristan Muyamba with the knee, Jamal Tiari with the quadricep. And there are some other players who are, lingering and trying to recover. So we'll see what happens as far as the roster and what's available. But let's hear from Ronny. He touches on it. And obviously this matchup is interesting for Ronny, being the former manager of NYCFC, led them to an MLS Cup a few years ago. So obviously there are some ties to this matchup personally and professionally for Ronny. But let's hear from him, his thoughts on the contest and much more. Here we go.
Miggy he come back in the morning. Luis the same, so he's just inside having restitution. Pedro become a father on Tuesday, so he gonna arrive tomorrow, so he's also available for the game.
Okay. This is gonna be a weird question for you. When you won MLS Cup with NYCFC, who you play on Saturday, you fulfilled a post-game bet that you had made. I'm curious, if you could lead Atlanta United to MLS Cup, what might you do?
I'm willing to do the most thing if we win something, I can tell you. So that's that was an easy bet in that time. So it started in Strømsgodset with some stripping there, and then was one of the supporters asking if we win with them with New York, would you do the same? And then of course if you win, have to do whatever, almost whatever. so then I had to stand by my bet. So that was a good experience. Maybe not so good to watch. My daughter was embarrassed a little bit afterwards.
Oh really? So no bets yet. You're still thinking about it. Is that fair?
No. So we'll see. Take it as it comes. First we take it one game at a time, but we're gonna have fun if we win sometime, and that's the goal.
I'm curious, after seeing Alexi play kind of as a deeper midfielder against Cincinnati, and I thought he performed pretty well. Is that something that you're considering maybe going forward?
I think it's something we can do inside games.
Okay.
Like if we need a goal, we can put him a little bit lower, deeper. If we are struggling a little bit when they come out from behind, he's the guy that can open it up. is good, but good players can play in many positions, and he's one of them. So it just gave us more options, and I was thinking about actually a long time to test him there, and he's capable to do that in a good way. And then of course you can put on an extra attacker, and then will be even more offensive.
And last one for me, you've got 3 home games starting on Saturday. You've already dropped some points at home. How important is it to get into a good form and try to get as many points as you can in these 3?
That's very important. So I think when we look at the whole performances, we get what we deserve in the end. Maybe a little bit maybe should have a point or 2 more. But we have seen the first half, we should have 15 points now. So it's about what we do over time in 90 minutes, and I think the performance is getting better and better overall. And it's many reasons why that, but I also get to know each other in everything we do. And I think the second half now in Cincinnati was very good. Created 3 chances that half we come back when we could get on there. So things are positive. So we just need more consistent performances, and then it's what we want, and that's the goal now to get 3 wins in these home games.
In these second halves, is there a tactical element to a reason why the players are struggling at some points, whether it's teams applying more pressure, throwing more men forward?
It's only about ourselves. It's not about them. It's like they are not doing so different things. I think it's overall about load. I think we have to find the match, and we start to know each other. We are new staff together, and everybody wants to do the best. But in the end, it's the players that get the load. So we have to coordinate even better. And also, they started a place from the last years, and there's a place where we are now. If that step is also too big, then it could be that's why we drop off in the second half. That we maybe have pushed a little bit too much. Again, we're going to get that back. But it's like for me, it's like it's a balloon. You know, if you have a balloon full of air, that's how we have to be in Saturdays. But if it's just a half full, then it's the first half. So I think we need to just get a little bit more air into the balloon, and I think also we will last longer in the games, because it's not like we run more than the others in the first half. We are capable to do that in both halves, and that's what we want to see. And this is a very small things that we are working on, and it's coordination. If you don't break some eggs, you will not get any better. So we are pushing, but at the same time we have to ride the horse in the right way, if you can understand what I mean. I think that there is and you have the mental thing into the physical, so it's to find that balance right.
Next rival in New York City, a team that you know pretty well. What are your opinion of the team?
They have a good team, a little bit younger, maybe not younger than when I was there, but they always now have brought to a lot of young players, and that's of course very good. They play in the same style that they've done many years, so there's a culture of the way they play, the City Group way of playing, and they have good players in every positions, and especially still Maxi Moral is very important for them. And up front they also have speed and good players, so it's going to be a tough game. At the same time, I'm not so into focus on them. I'm more into what we are doing, and I know when we are playing good that they also going to suffer, and that's what they need to do when they come to our stadium.
Okay, defense-wise, we conceded 8 goals in 5 games. What has to change in order to stop conceding that many goals per game?
That's because we concede too many chances. So we have maybe been the best team in MLS so far to defend ourselves in the organized defense. So we almost don't concede that. We concede way too much in the set play. It's 9-3 in chances to them. That's the same rate that was last year. So we haven't improved that at all. So that's a thing. At the same time, we will lose too many easy balls in the second half, so we get counter-attacks on us. So that is the main thing. But when you see the overall defending, it's a huge improvement, and also a very high level compared to other teams. Because defend against the established attack, that is the hardest in football. But I think set play is a mentality thing. That's something we, as I talked about, the killer instinct. You know, you have to be always scared to do mistakes in these kind of situations, and you need to be very, very alert and on the front foot. We are in a process, and we get answers now. Now we just have to improve.
In that match against Cincinnati, you utilized a lot of different players in your depth roster. How does that performance help you going forward in the rest of the season?
It was good. As I said to Will afterwards, we get a new player today. You know, he really performed really well. We get Alexi as a 6. We saw that how that's going to be. We have Matt as a center back. He can do that as well. So just give us more depth in our squad, and it's so nice when we have younger players coming in. And now it's a big chance that Luke is on the bench now. Also get the opportunity to be there. I see a lot of potential in him as well. And we need to have these homegrown young players that drives a different energy into the team. Like I think it's we are too settled. That's our squad. This is too many players in the same age, from 27 to 41. So like that is something that we need to look at over time. But then also the young players has to take the steps, and I think that's nice to see that they are capable to do it, and then they have to keep on driving.
You mentioned Maxi Morales, a player you know really well. What makes him so good, even at 38?
He's unbelievable understanding, technique, and passion for the game, and also he takes care of himself. It's impressive what he has done. You know, last year after I went also with a cruciate injury, coming back again, and he looks the same way that he's done before. So. He has and is the biggest players, in my opinion, ever in New York City so far, and we need to be aware of what his strength and take that out of the game.
You talked obviously about the load aspect of, you know, when we're talking about this mentality for the team to carry from the first half to the second half. What else goes into that? Is it like the confidence to show for the ball, to want to receive the ball? Is that the kind of thing that you feel like you're not seeing so much in the second half?
But you can only think yourself, if you are going in and you are a little bit mentally, physically tired, it's not, then you're not with yourself. So it's a very easy thing. Just think about yourself in your workplace. You know, when you have energy and you can attack the situation every day, then you can give to others as well. So I think it's a natural thing into that, because the one thing I can say, these boys, they give everything. If I ask them to almost jump through the wall, they will do that, you know, and that's very, very good. So it's again to find the right freshness mix and pushing and training to get them to be in the full balloon, and that's always individual also. So we have to find individually. What do you call it? Individually. What do you call it when you like? They are individual. Very close to get that right. Hopefully already on Saturday.
The past few weeks we've seen the games kind of on Thursday. What is the point of those? What are you looking for?
Oh, that's because of the load.
Okay.
So they have seen another 2 last weeks. Because we needed to do something with. I think we were going too hard into the games. So now I take a little bit back to get the right balance. But we also then have to look at what do we do in the gym, what do we do on the pitch, what do we do about meetings, what do we do, everything. We have to look at and coordinate that as good as possible. So we can do more today than we did today. But again, now we have to take 1 step back to get 2 steps forward again. And it's fun, it's short, it is low intensity, it's restitution almost. And then we work also on individual things that they like to do. So it's a feel-good exercise today to get ready for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Ronny discussing the New York City FC matchup, just trying to find that consistency and finishing out contests, and obviously facing New York City FC and overall. So that was Ronny, his thoughts on the matchup and their Thursday training practices. They do host as an NYCFC on March 29th. We will not be at the match, but we'll be following. And as always, follow everything else that's going on. You can always head to our website, thesportsinquirer.net. You can also go to our social media platforms on Twitter/X, Instagram, and Facebook. And finally, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our audio and video host, which include YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, and more. Thank you once again for listening and watching this latest edition of Fighting Peaches. Not Fighting Peaches. It's the original Free Kick. We have a name for everything. This is the original Free Kick. Until next time, good fight, good night, and be safe.